everybody, it's Erin Reed, and today we're back making another Christmas card. This one's more of a winter theme action happening, and today's freebie from Scrapbook.com is a pair of distress crayons. I've got Broken China and Victoria Velvet. We're just going to be dealing with the Broken China today, and we're going to do a technique where we're going to be embossing. So I pulled out a cutie patootie little stamp set. We're just using the snowflakes out of this, so I'm going to use the little ones here and the big ones here. I did do a version of this. This is just a very, very simple card, just kind of playing around, where I did this embossing, and that's what we're going to do. And then I just put a layer of a sticker on top. But we're going to go a little more foofy on this one, as you saw from the picture at the beginning. Start with your embossing ink. And this is just in clear. And then we are going to be using a silver embossing powder. So I'm going to come in first, and I'm going to place down a few of these snowflakes. I'm going to start with the first one. And as long as I go pretty fast, I can get all of these embossed at the same time. So I'm going to come in really quickly, place down my embossing powder, and I'm doing this over like a little tray looking thing. And if it drops off, then I can collect it at the end. But I'm going to put my little container in here and then go like this. And then just kind of tap it. There we go. And then you just come in with your heat gun, and I'm going to kind of push this off to the side so I don't heat it, and then heat set it, and you kind of see it do its magic. I just love it when you know it's done and it does that change. It's so cool. All right, I'm going to pop off this stamp, and I'm going to replace it with another one. This particular little stamp set had 2 different stamps in it. So I'm going to do even some of them coming off the page. So just, you know, kind of hitting. Oops, that one's got a little smudgeroonie on it. It's okay. I might not even get to those little bitty guys. We'll have to see. I'm going to speed the rest of this up because you guys know what's happening next. Look how pretty that looks. Now that looks cool just all on its own. I'm going to cap this so I don't accidentally. I will come back later and get all this back inside of here, but I'm not going to worry about it for right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit in the little bitty ones. I think they're just going to get too squishy. So we'll just deal with what we have here. I've played with a bunch of different things. I don't have any baby wipes. That would probably be the best one, but I don't have any. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crayon and then just kind of rub it on here pretty hard. If you get to the point where you're at the end, just twist the knob. I am doing a single color. If you've got a couple of colors, go for it. You can play with that, but I am not going to mix the pink and the blue together because that is just going to create mud. If you had a complementary blue, like a different color blue, I think that would be fantastic. I'm going to take some water and spray this all over, saturate it up, and then I'm going to take my paper towel and just like buff it out, basically. Just buff it. Get it all on there. I did it on craft because I'm not trying to go for a quote-unquote blue look. I want this to look like distressed blue. And it's funny, it almost is like it foams up on itself. It's really weird. It's like there's soap in there or something. I don't know. I can't quite figure it out. Pat it dry. And if I feel like I need a little bit more, I can come in and just kind of, now without getting it wet, come in and buff more of it in. So there's tons and tons of techniques, but just look how cool that looks. You definitely see all of the silver on there. There's still a hint of the craft underneath there. And then you also get the blue, which is in there too. And if you want to come in, you can, so this is the one that's a little bit wet. So you can kind of play with it. And that's so cool. All right, what I write here is I have Renia foiled paper. I'm going to add this to the back of my card. If you haven't figured out, I love to layer. It's one of those things that just, I enjoy it. I enjoy layering out my cards, and look how pretty that looks. All right, I took 2 different dies. This one right here is one that I have had for ages. It's from Dynamite Dies, and I die cut out some of the Renia foil paper out of the silver Starstruck. Back here we have the Sapphire Starstruck, and then I die cut out of this one. It comes from the Sizzix die set right here, and I did another one, and I'm going to do a third out of, again, in the, so you can see how I die cut that right here. I'm going to do one more. I can't find the one I already punched out, but I'm going to punch this one. So it's a 3-layered snowflake that we are going to be doing on this card. So here we have our layers going forward. I'm going to do the really complicated one right here. And then we put this one over top, and then we have the little guy on top. So it looks really cool, and it just kind of pops with the different colors, with a different blue behind. It's all kind of fun. So everything's kind of sparkly and cool. All right, I pulled out a couple of things. I pulled out some burlap trim. I pulled out this really cool, it's, I don't know the best way to describe it. Basically, it's like plastic gems. I pulled out some twine. I have my snowflakes and then some white ink. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, bring in a little bit of a different color to this, ink the edge in white, just like this. But I'm not going to glue this down yet. And from here on out, I'm going to actually use a different glue because I got a lot of different kinds of elements coming in on here. I'm going to be using my Super Tight. This is an all-purpose. You guys have seen me use this a bajillion times. It basically encompasses anything that you'll stick anything to anything and sticks like magic. First step is I'm going to go ahead and glue down. I'm going to kind of move my base of my card off to the side right now. This will be a sentimentless card, meaning there is no sentiment. It's just going to be having, I think it's going to be a sentimentless card. I still play and decide what I want to do, but as of this moment, I think that's where it's headed. Add another little bead of glue here, stick down my little gems there. I like having them all different lengths. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to take a section of my twine, and I'm okay if it's got a little bit of some looseness happening to it. And I'm just going to wrap. And this is why I didn't want to glue the other page down yet, or the other section down yet. I don't want to make this too tight. I just want this to be this nice loose kind of layered look going all the way down the section here. And then just kind of tie it off. I'm not even going to knot it. I'm leaving it loose. I'm going to have an end loose and an end loose. And then a big old blob of glue is what's going to hold this thing together. And that's where I'm going to start layering my snowflakes. I'm going to bring in my first snowflake right here. So this is not a card you're going to be able to mail unless you're going to have to be a hand deliver, or it's going to have a thick package. It's a winter card, but it still functions as a card you can use for Christmas. I still think those are interchangeable. I kind of love that vibe. It works. And then there you go. Very cool, right? I like that I can also kind of flare these up a little bit, give them some dimension. They've got a little bit, that's the cool thing about this Rania foil, is it does have this 3-dimensional quality to it. It doesn't have to be flat. So now I'm going to come in and add my glue to the back here. It's also going to help secure. I'm going to add some right onto where the rope is. This is a very mixed media, multi-layered card. There we go. Look how cool. I think it needs a little gem in the middle. It needs something. So I was playing around. I had pulled out all of these things here and trying to see if I want to answer. It was just too much, but I cut it all apart. It has these little gems in it, and I love it. I love that vibe of it. So I'm going to add one of these little gems. Again, this is an old, I'm seriously pulling out my stash of stuff. These are from Michael's. They're ancient. I don't even know if you can get them, but any kind of pretty gem would work just great. And I've got a lot of different blue colors happening on here, so it's just making everything look so cool. You can go 2 different ways with this card. Background is exactly the same. The only thing I changed for this card is I did a silver background versus the turquoise background. How I did the back of this is identical. And then I just did some of the craft paper and put this really pretty sticker from Paper House on there that has some swirls. That is an easy way. A little more glammy way is you add some more layers, you do some die cut pieces. They both are cool. One's more simplistic. It's both using the same background. So don't forget to head out to scrapbook.com and get your freebie distress crayons. You get 2 of them, which is fantastic, if you put an order in today. And thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my video. Supply links are all going to be down below where you can find all these fun items of what I have been using today for as much as I can. Not sure if I can find that gem for you because it's pretty darn old. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. I will see you guys again later. Bye-bye.